Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation. The information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. So this is a special bonus reading, Sag, to celebrate the Lunar New Year and the Year of the Dragon. So by the time these readings come out, we'll be a little past that time, but I just wanted to give a little bit of a bonus reading for February. I hope that you all are doing well. I wanted to show you you actually skipped the line I was going to tell you, but usually I just did the Leo reading, and usually I'll do Aries next, but I went to say Aries and Sagittarius came out, so Spirit wanted that to happen. I have a couple of crystals on my desk that I want to show you that I think are just fun and in celebrating with the spirit of the Year of the Dragon. I have this fluorite dragon, this crazy lace agate dragon head, which is pretty impressive, and I also have this beautiful fire quartz red hematite heart. This is for goddess energy and gossip dispelling. It's very powerful. I used to not work with fire quartz because it just really, quartz always amplifies energy, and so it was amplifying that kind of root and sacral chakra energy. And it was, when I first started working with fire quartz, it was too much for me, and I had to I was a little scared of it, and now it's just like one of my besties, so I have this on the table for all the readings. The Year of the Dragon represents abundance and prosperity and good fortune, but the year also comes with a little bit of a caution, because with all of this abundance, it kind of flows both ways, and there could be a tendency for overindulgence. So Spirit wanted me to kind of highlight that for all of the signs, to just, many good things are going to come, and maybe in great quantity. So if you are the kind of person that likes to overindulge once in a while, you really, which I am, you have to be really cautious that you don't overdo it. And this could look like anything. It could look like food or substances. It could look like overworking. It could like having too much fun, oversleeping, things like that. We want to do things in moderation. So I'm going to use 3 decks for your quick bonus reading today. I say quick bonus reading, and it's never quick, but I'm doing my best. I'm sorry I don't have the box for this one, but this is the Chakra Healing Oracle deck. I'm going to take one from that deck and one from the Dragon Oracle cards, and then do your tarot reading with the Prisma Visions Tarot deck by James Eads. So Sagittarius, let's just get straight to it. You got 2 cards. One other sign got 2 cards. I can't remember who. So I did the other readings yesterday, so I can't remember. I only did 4 readings yesterday. Was it Scorpio? Nope, can't remember. So the first one you got is Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. I love that expression, spiritual technology. Technology is a word that I'm not a linguist. I'm just riffing here with Spirit, but technology, like the wheel, the invention of the wheel was a form of technology because it was the most innovative piece of equipment or resource that early human beings had at the time in order to assist them in their work, in their workload. So we look at the wheel is one of the first methods of, or one of the first displays of technology. So if I were to think about spiritual technology, I would think about something like this. Sacred geometry, where, you know, even like crystals and crystal gridding and putting things in a certain order. Crystals are highly ordered, right? That's why they're so powerful, because they're highly ordered. When we use crystals in combination with sacred geometry, with our intention and our electromagnetic energy that comes from our own mind and heart and bodies, we put all those things together, magic actually happens, right? So it's something to think about. I think that's pretty awesome. And then the second card you got is Black Dragon. Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. This cocoon of this bubble. It's so interesting that I was talking to a very dear friend and coworker a couple days ago about creating a bubble of protection, a bubble of white light around you at all times, in order to protect you from harm, negative energy, and also to give you a little bit of breathing room around your aura, a little bit of space, so that you can radiate what you need to radiate, right? So these are two really powerful dragons that came out for you this year. So one as kind of a spirit guide protector, and one as kind of a teacher of sacred knowledge. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let's get a chakra card. All these cards have been pre-shuffled, but I just like to shuffle again. Okay, you got one card. Wow. Need I say more? Need I say more? Abundance. Yellow representing the solar plexus chakra. These cards are so interesting though, because they always depict something that is unpredictable to me. It's not like, I don't use this deck very often, so I don't have the cards memorized, but I'm always so interested in these depictions, because you can see here we've got the image split in two, and there's a chest, and it does remind me of, like, Spirit is giving it to me, like the Ark of the Covenant, right? I only know this because of Indiana Jones, not because of the Bible, which is, you know, I'm not Christian, but I feel slightly ashamed about that I don't know. It's Christian or Judeo-Christian. I don't know if the Ark of the Covenant, is that in the Old Testament? No idea. Please forgive me my ignorance. But anyway, that might be relevant to somebody. Or Indiana Jones might be relevant to somebody. I always bring up Indiana Jones in my readings. It's because he's amazing. A split scene here where you see a person, I mean, the fact that he has a bottle of alcohol would suggest maybe he's feeling a little down on his luck, kind of trying to figure out how is he going to uncover his abundance. And then you have this figure on this side using her resources to try and go after what it is that she feels is a hidden treasure. There could be something in your midst. I almost want to say to you, Sag, that there's like an untapped resource that is right in front of your face. There's something that is right in front of you that is an untapped resource. Okay, so for one of you out there, I saw you going through your old clothing, old items, and selling them on, you know, consignment shops, on eBay. There's something that you were going to get rid of anyway, right? It's not like you have to sell all your possessions. I should hope not, to make all your ends meet. That's not what I'm talking about. You know, you're just trying to purge. We want to, always kind of try to live maybe other people don't believe in this, but I'm trying to parcel down all of my possessions because I was starting to feel like they were owning me, and I don't really like that idea. Aside from my clothes and my crystals and my cats, that's what I need in life, you know? So I've been trying to get rid of, excuse me. This could be like a touchy subject for somebody. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to get rid of your possessions and you have to. Sorry if that's the case. But let's just skip to the point, which is you could have something in your closet that is worth a lot of money. And I feel as though there's something right in front of your face that, or maybe it's just a talent that you have. Maybe you picked up a hobby that you were doing on the weekends, and you know, maybe you learned how to make a particular dish from your culture, or you know, your baker or something, and like your friends and family keep saying, oh my God, you should sell this, you should sell this, you could make so much money off of this, this is so good, this is so delicious. Or you know, these quilting projects that you're working on, or you have such a talent for fixing machinery or sewing clothes, whatever. You get the point. There's something, an untapped resource. But whatever this is, I mean, there are a lot of cards in this deck, and they don't all say abundance. So good for you, Sag. Very happy for you. This is going to be an abundant year for you. Right? Remember the warning, though. Remember what I was talking about in the beginning, the Spirit's word of caution. To not overindulge. 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. Okay. Okay, everything out. No, not everything is reversed. A lot of cards in reverse. In the past position, you got the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is the Queen of Swords in the upright. Interesting how she, you know, in this beautiful deck by James Eads, Prism of Visions Tarot, each suit, just imagine all the cards in the suit, and it's one continuous story. So each suit has a story. And I think in this story of the swords, there's this just gigantic bird that they're trying to take down. Anyway, of course the Queen of Swords would, you know, put her string around the beak and say, put a lid on it. Which is interesting, because usually the Queen of Swords would be the one to insist on communication, insist on the truth. When the Queen of Swords is in reverse, at least for me as a reader, in the past energy, I feel as though there was some truth that you didn't want to look at. Queen of Swords always, to me, my conception of the Queen of Swords, she always knows what the truth is, right? The swords is air energy. She always knows what it is. She just wants you to tell it to her. You ever meet people like that? This is kind of a trick that I use at work sometimes with my team. I run a team, so sometimes it's not that they're lying to me, but they've forgotten to tell me some piece of information, right? So I'll say, so such and such said, or such and such did this, this, and this. And, you know, there's like silence that falls over the room, and then somebody finally says, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, whatever. It's like I already knew what the information was. I was just waiting for one of my team members to fess up or thank you, Spirit. Yep, it works. Queen of Swords always knows. She always knows what the truth is. She just wants you to tell it to her. But when she's in reverse, She knows what the truth is, but she doesn't want to look at it. Could be too painful, too difficult. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This could have to do with a work situation. Eight of Pentacles talks about investment. You can see here she's got her watering can. These beautiful flowers that are really large blooms. Actually, I'm struck by how large the blooms are. It's almost like you think of flower shows and flower competitions. It's this idea of being proud of something that you have worked to cultivate. And with that sentiment in the reverse, maybe there was something in your past energy that you put a lot of investment in, but the outcome of it didn't really pan out the way that you thought it was, and could have you feeling I don't want to say ashamed. I don't feel ashamed, but it could have you feeling disappointed or a little lackluster. And Sages don't like to feel lackluster. Let's see what this is about. What does this have to do with in the past energy, Spirit? And the idea is, you know, that you're releasing it. Nine of Pentacles. 8 and 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. So like I said, remember I said in this deck, all the scenery goes together. So 8 and 9 of Pentacles. That's so interesting. This is such a strange, I mean, here she seems like she's got like her sundress on, and then here it's like she's nude. Or at least that's how it appears from the back. Nine of Pentacles talks about, oh. Okay, so I was going to say Nine of Pentacles talks about independence. It's pre-Empress energy. It's somebody who has worked very hard on what they've earned and enjoying the fruits of their labor, looking very good while doing it, etc., etc. In the middle of me even saying that, Spirit said hyper independence. And hyper independence, according to the therapists on Instagram, is a trauma response. It happens when we can't rely on other people. When we couldn't rely on other people to be there for us when we were younger. And therefore we had to take matters into our own hands in order to get anywhere. Can also be a response to relationship gone sour, where the partner was not doing their fair share, and a person then they come into a singular energy, and they stay in that singular energy because it's easier to know who you can count on, which is yourself. So this is in the past energy for you. Very interesting. Take it as it resonates. It's very specific. It's a specific scenario where you may feel like you don't have that many people, you know, you can rely on. And like now I'm looking at this character again. Right? There's nobody helping her. There's nobody around. She's just trying to have to figure it out for herself. Figure it out for oneself. The Spirit's drawing my attention to this dragon again, right? The universal knowledge. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Spirit is saying, remind them, they're not They're not by themselves, right? You have spirit, you have your spirit guides. They're asking you to draw upon them as a resource, to ask for help. In the present energy, you have the Two of Swords in the reverse. Two of Swords can talk about there's some kind of internal blockage, a blockage in your thinking. Could be a little bit of closed-mindedness when the card is in the upright. It's hard to tell. There's a little, so if this person is holding two swords and they're going like this, there's a butterfly kind of trying to approach something beautiful, right? You can't see it in the reverse. It's a little different. It's saying that you were in that place of stagnancy, and now you're starting to kind of open your eyes and be more observant about your situation. You have a little bit more discernment. You kind of know what you think about a situation. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Wands talks about perseverance and like fighting and fighting and fighting and staying the course. When the card is in reverse, which you got it in reverse, it's kind of like saying, I'm tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. And maybe that's the revelation that you opened your eyes to, that there might have been I don't know why all of a sudden I felt like going like that. I'm not hot. Maybe you were feeling like some situation was too hot. Like it was getting a little too tense, or I don't know where that came from. This revelation that you no longer have to, you don't have to keep going just to say that you kept going, right? There's a little tendency for martyrdom with the Nine of Wands, just like ever so slightly, where like the wounded warrior living to fight another day, like the epic, I'm sacrificing everything to keep going. I mean, yes, to a certain extent that can be a noble thing, or it could, it's in a certain circumstance, it can be like, well, who are you, like, why? Who are you trying to impress? Or nobody's asking you to do that. I'm not sure what, I'm going to ask for clarifier because I'm not sure what this is in reference to. Obviously it's going to be different for everybody, but 3 cards came out. The Fool, the Lovers in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, Thank you, Spirit. This is the Fool energy. It sounds like a strange thing to say, but lately there have been a lot of pylons showing up in my life, like in videos, like people jumping on, especially with the start of the Lunar New Year. They had all of these traditional dragon dances, right, in China, where people get dressed up in the dragon costumes, and then they do those very dynamic dances in the costumes. They stand on these very narrow pylons, and they're kind of like raising themselves up, and I'm just getting a lot of that kind of energy, where it's almost like this game of balancing, right? Which Sagittarian is represented by the Temperance card in the Major Arcana. That's all about balance. So that could be why it's coming to my head. The Fool energy starts the Major Arcana of the Tarot, and it talks about taking a beautiful leap of faith and entrusting Spirit to have your back. Being brave, it's an act of bravery when we can, as adults, find the courage to start something new. With the Lovers in reverse, this is Gemini energy of the Major Arcana. You can see here 2 people actually wearing masquerade. It's like a masquerade. They have masks on, and they're dancing. It's like her dress. When the Lovers is in reverse, it's like a feeling like almost, because the Lovers isn't just talking about a divine partnership, although it could. It talks about a choice point, a decision point. When the Lovers in reverse coupled with the Fool, it's almost like I didn't have a choice. I had to take the leap of faith. With this situation of, it's almost like I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't stay on this path anymore. It was too exhausting. I didn't have a choice. I had to just jump. Four of Swords in the reverse. I had to wake up. Four of Swords in the upright is kind of rest, recuperation after heartbreak and disappointment. So when I see the card in reverse, it's like I had to wake up, snap out of it. And I just hear Cher from Moonstruck saying, snap out of it. That's what I feel as though your energy is at this time. You're waking up to something. It's very, very significant. And it's almost like you're clearing the path so that you can bring in this kind of beautiful energy. Yeah, so in the future potential, here's the Death card, Scorpio energy. Endings bringing new beginnings. Putting something to rest. An issue, a situation, a relationship that is no longer serving your highest good. You know, the white rose to me, sometimes I think of it as like a white flag. It's like peace, like being at peace with an ending. And the Four of Pentacles clarifying that, which talks about managing your resources, like understanding what you have, taking stock of what you have, and really you know, holding on tightly to it. Let's see what this ending is. Can you please tell me about the ending? Okay, 2 cards swooped out. Yeah. So remember when I said the Four of Swords was after a period of heartbreak and heartache? Here's the Three of Swords. Heartbreak and heartache. This is just the clarifier for the Death card. It's like you're finally, you want this card in the upright. This is the hardest card in the deck besides the Ten of Swords. This is just disappointment. It's on the ground. Like, you want this card in the upright though because it means that you're moving on from it. It's like we can move past it now. However, it is coupled with the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Eight of Swords talks about analysis paralysis. You can see here this character is like behind a fence of their own making. This came up in another reading, and I said to that sign, I can't remember who it was now, but it's almost like Spirit saying, please snap out of this energy because 2 more swords and I won't be able to reach you. You know, it is a little bit of just being really, you know, caught up in your head. You do have the card in reverse though, so it's kind of like, it's tough. It's like I feel, even though this is all air energy, all air elemental, I feel the sense of like being underwater. Like if you're in a pool and you're just like diving under the water and somebody's yelling out your name to come get lunch or like whatever, it's this muffled, like it's this muffled, their voice is muffled. And it's hard to hear Spirit sometimes. And that's why it's almost as if these 2 dragons coming in. So this dragon, the one that wants to create the cocoon around you, it's almost like to not so that it blocks you off, but so that it filters out the voices of distraction. This is all about voices of fear and distraction. And then the green gold dragon representing spiritual technology and sacred knowledge. It's like once you're able to silence out all the distraction, then you create a clear path for spirit to bring in the downloads, perhaps having to do with some form of abundance, right? Giving you the smart idea of looking at the resources that you have available to you, right? Looking at the resources that you have available to you in order to create abundance. So I do see that there is disappointment that you're getting over this year. See, I wrote down on this card, you know, just to remember what I wanted to say about the year of the dragon, and Spirit put my eye right towards the sentence, beware of self-indulgence. So if you've experienced a heartbreak this year, or coming on the tail of the last few months, please do not sit in that energy too long, or you stifle the flow of abundance towards you. Sitting in that energy is a form of self-indulgence, just not in a positive way. So that's your reading, Sagittarius. I hope it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.